Hello yogis, welcome. Today I'm doing practice later. I'm normally an early morning practice person, but what we're doing is our abdominal work, Abdominal Krya sequence, which I have done in the Limithko yoga class, and I do have copies of this sequence. But first of all, we'll warm ourselves up with a little sitting quietly, a little bit of twisting, bit of working our abdominal area, or toning up slightly in order to do this sequence. A series of things which we hold for a couple of minutes. So we'll start quietly. I think I'll rest my hands down. Quiet eyes. Letting go your thoughts. Noticing your breath, which you probably haven't noticed at all today. Breathing in and out well. Allowing your eyes to open. There's a quietness at the start. We'll do a twist and a side stretch. Those are always very good for toning up front of the abdomen, lower back, and the sides of the abdomen. So we'll extend out our left arm as we started in the last video, actually a similar start, extending out, trying to be long on the lower side of our bodies. Enjoying that stretch, back through to the centre, walking across the other side, keeping the shoulders down, trying to feel the length in the whole of your body. The back body, the front body, the sides of your body. We come back to the centre, feel that you're as even as possible on your sitting bones, and you turn from as low down as you can to the right. And to the left. Change the cross of our legs. Extend out your right arm, stretch up. Walk across, lengthen out, feel that nice stretch, back through to the centre, extend. I just was wondering if I can touch that side wall. It's close to it. I don't want to be too close to it. Back to the centre and rotate in the other direction. Maintaining that lovely in and out breath as you turn and turn the other way. Back to the centre, change the cross of your legs. Twists are good if your back's been a bit tired, so I've been out all day and that's why I'm thinking this is quite a nice one to do tonight. Stretch your arms up and go to your left. Extend out your arms, stretch, back through to the centre, extend a little bit more, back through to the centre, so we have even length on the sides of our body, our legs are descending down, arms are coming down, turn to your left. Turn to your right. Back to the centre, cross the legs again the other way, our last crossing of the legs, extend the arms out, stretch up, trying to keep that evenness on the side of your body going towards your left, right, and back to the centre, extend, stretch, and come back to the centre, rotate to your right. And rotate to your left. Back to centre. So I've got a blanket laid down because we are doing lying down twists, abdominal work, and your back will be pressing down more, so therefore make sure you're well supported. I've got that blanket there, got my other one in case I need it. We're lying down, checking you've got room to extend your legs out, and we'll do a little bit of warming up our lower backs. So we're lying down and we're drawing our right leg in towards us, back of the neck long, pushing away with your left leg, and mine is conveniently tucking in towards a wall, which does feel very nice. And you're very welcome to do that this way, and you might find it is helpful in the class to have that happening. So draw down your thigh, press both thighs down, the right thigh and the left thigh. Don't let your head tilt back, do support your head. If you find your head tilts back, keep the shoulders down, elbows gripping in, release that leg, press back towards your imaginary wall or your real wall and draw your other leg in. Quieten your face, your eyes, as you press that leg in towards the wall or towards your imaginary wall. So that active foot, this other thigh is drawing down, this leg is pressing down. So we're bringing the length into our lower backs. Before we go for the twisting version of this, extend out your left leg, bend your right leg in again and hold it with your left hand. Right arm could be out to the side, far out or close in, whichever you prefer. Kicking action, pull this leg across. Bottom leg lets it roll, just allow that leg to roll. So that your head is facing the ceiling, your chest is turning towards the ceiling still, we hope. Getting quite a strong stretch here. Keep pushing away with this leg quite strongly. Come back to the centre. Check that you're in the centre, that the weight on each leg is the same, weight on each buttock bone is the same. Bend in your other leg. It's like this kicking action which activates the back of the leg as well as the front. Press down in that hand or have the arm out to the side, rolling across, completely rolling. As you go more and more to the side, more effort is needed to press into your left shoulder, your left arm, your left shoulder blade, allowing this twist to happen. And then check this leg, right leg, I let it go slack, but I really want it to stay a bit stronger, so I'm straightening out my knee. Back to the centre, feet behind the hips, arms out to the side. We'll do the twist with our hands behind our head for a change, stronger than usual. But it will work our upper backs a bit more, starting to prepare us for our abdominal Kriya work. So my feet are apart, my knees are apart, roll my knees to the right, press into my elbows. Back to the centre, roll my knees to the left. And if your lower back's feeling tight, this is a good one to do. It's coming up and down with your knees to each side. Breathe in to the centre, breathe out to the side, breathe in to the centre, breathe out to the side. Stay with that version. If it feels enough for your lower back at this time of the day or however your body's feeling, stay. Otherwise, coming for the slightly stronger version, legs are close in, roll your knees to the right, back to the centre, down to the left. Got to be a little bit more cautious because you're into a stronger stretch if you're bringing your knees and thighs closer. Stronger on your tummy, stronger on your lower back, stronger on your upper back as well. So you be the judge of whether this is too strong, and if it is, go back to the one we started with. Ending on your left side, back to the centre, slight counter pose, feet on the floor behind your hips, head is down, press your palms down, scoop your hips up to the ceiling. Don't let the legs splay out. Scoop them up and scoop them up, chin towards your chest, scoop them away again. Press on your feet, activate those buttock bones, so tuck the buttock bones up to the ceiling, grip in with your outer legs, press your hands down, lift up, press those arms down, and come more on your shoulders if you can. So you're working the upper back. Don't puff the abdomen, keep that long and flat, long on the buttock bone area. Chin towards your chest, tuck your hips back down again to come down. Turn onto your side, and we'll do a cat and a dog, lengthening out our back. Blanket hopefully isn't too much in the way. I want to do a pose Anjanurasana, which is a stronger stretch on our quadricep and on our knees, but we'll do cat and dog first. So if you can come from toes together, knees wide, this one, height underneath your hips if you need it. I have got my second blanket over here. So those of you who know that you need more height here, have your height ready. And then you keep those hips down, you lengthen out, you lengthen out, you lengthen out. Head is resting down. The palms of your hands are spreading into the floor. Hips are pushing back towards the wall behind you. Then we come up, and that would have to go slightly out of your way. Inhaling and exhaling, working wherever you feel that your back is feeling tight. So it could be here, and I'm thinking that here is where I want to work more. So I'm really making my cervical spine go more up towards the ceiling or the base of the neck area. And then I'm pressing my shoulder blades in to really work your back. And you can go a little bit, as I said, if you want to do more moving around from the side to the side, you can. And come into your Adho Mukha Svanasana. When you're ready, lift your hips up. Watching if you've got a blanket that you're not going to slip. And be there. Dog pose does come into our abdominal sequence and later, so we won't do a long hold now. But those of you who wish to stay longer, you can, of course. And some of you might want to come down to cat and back into a dog. But we'll be doing a longer hold in this a little bit later on. But we're here stretching out, checking the length of our backs, strength of our legs, both legs doing the same thing, both arms doing the same thing. Have a rest down. You can sit back on your heels. And then we're going to do a little bit of work in Anjaneyasana, which you will recognise when I start doing it. So, it might be good to have your bricks near actually. So let's have them here. Right foot is forwards. This is your left leg, and you want that left leg, the knee to be straight first. So you come in here, knee is going down, and then you can come to here. You've got your bricks ready. So what I'm trying to do is feel a stretch in this quadricep, buttock bones are lengthening down, and I can tuck the toes down or I can stretch my leg straight back. And it's starting to also give me a stretch here for our abdominal kriya. So I'm pressing on my height here, taking my abdomen away from my thigh, trying to be upright. Slightly easier to be leaning forwards here, less pressure on the knee, but if you, wish to come a little bit further with this, toes could be tucked under or you can press your shin bone down, the weight comes back and I'm here. And I'm trying to bring my arms by my ears and I'm stretching up. And this area, well, you can't really see it for the t-shirt, but this area is trying to stay down and flat, okay? The t-shirts go up, but you want the skin underneath the t-shirt to be going down. So stretching here. Feeling something happening in the quadricep of this back leg, but not in the knee. If you feel it in the knee, you need more support under your knee. And then you can come back down, if you're able to, into your dog pose. And those who are able can stretch your leg behind you and bring that one forwards onto the knee, and we're up again. So it's a little bit of back bending going on as well, you should feel here. And this is back strengthening, abdominal work. And I'm up here, or I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to go up with these arms. I'm feeling a roundness on the back, broadness. And then the arms stretch up and the skin in the back goes down. Waist back. Stretch up. Press towards your back shin bone and press on the front foot. Hands come down. If you're wanting to use your bricks for going into the dog stretch, Adho Mukha Svanasana, you'd have to go like this, flatten them, make sure they're not going to slip, stretch back with your leg, come back down, and can you bring this foot to come forwards again? So you're lower down here, and then bring these bricks up, and stretch up, stretch your arms up. We'll do that a little bit, a couple of more times on each side. So this is one. Come back down, hands can go flat, hands can go on your bricks. Let's just stretch this leg out. I'm watching my walls. You can do more active stretches. This leg comes forwards, so it's that action. Can you bring that leg forwards? Then the knee goes down, I'm on the front of my kneecap, then I'm here, and this may be enough. And I scoop my tailbone in, towards my pubic bone, and it's almost as it hooks towards the top of my head. I stretch my arms up, Anjanurasana. Hands come back down again, last time on each side. Palms are here, pressing back into my dog pose. Just move that blanket so I've moved myself forward slightly. Stretch this leg away. If you can, bring that foot forwards. Knee is coming down. And this last time, we're going to bring our hands together and come into a twist. And I do like twists, as you know. So this is working my abdomen. Press those palms together. I'm pressing to my bottom leg to try not to fall over. And I'm stretching the toes of my front foot. And this is starting to, again, work on the abdominal toning, working a bit on the hips as well. One elbow going up, one elbow going down. Come back down again. Got my bricks there. This would be the left leg. It's coming forwards. I can be here. I can be up here again. Or I can be into this one. Pressing down that bottom leg, squeezing the hips in. Trying to feel that the outer hips are firm and there's no movement there. Hands come back down again. Stretch back. One last variation. And I'll go this way around because I would suggest you have your foot against the wall. And no, this wall is better because that's got the radiator. So have your foot against the wall. And we'll do lifting up the back leg. I'll move my blanket. So I've got my feet against the wall, heels up the wall, in dog pose. Bring your right foot forwards. Keep your legs straight and come back into that twisty one we just did. Straight leg, stay. Strong in the leg, keep your hips stretching back. One elbow going up to the ceiling. One elbow's going down. I'm working my shoulder blades. Bring my hands back down again. This is too much. Do your cat with your foot pushing back to the wall. Foot comes forwards again. That foot is pushing, so I'm staying here. And can I come into this on the other side? Elbows are going up. Nice long stretch to the back leg. It should feel really good. Opening out the chest. Breathing normally. Pressing towards the back leg. Come back again. Either go straight back into Uttanasana or Adho Mukha Svanasana again for a short time, as we're going to do it again soon, and then into Uttanasana. Bent knees if you need to. Or looking forwards. If your back feels, oh, I need more length, look forwards. Push your hips back to the wall, look forwards. Press your spine in, or be here. Carefully come out of that, and one more line twist before we start our Kriya sequence. That going back and forth into Anjanurasana. You could do much more of it if you want to before the Kriya sequence. So anyone who wants to do more, do more. So I'll put this down again, the blanket, because we will be needing it in our abdominal exercises. But we'll do a lie down twist again using the brick to bring a little bit more strength before we go on to the sequence. And we'll also do our Setu Bandha using the brick between our inner thighs. So we're lying down again. You won't need room to straighten your legs here. Arms out to the side. You've got space, have your brick near. Bring the brick between your inner thighs, or well, inner knees, inner thighs. And my feet are away from me, and I'm letting them roll to the right. I'm trying to keep the knees together with the brick there. So therefore, I'm using some work in my lower back. And you should feel, oh, I'm using a little bit more work because I've got something to squeeze. So squeeze, come back to the centre, and squeeze. It does help you possibly feel longer in your lower back. Back to the centre, and squeeze. So try not to let that move. And as you're doing twice like that, you can do 4 on each side like that, or come and do 2 with your legs closer in. So I'm here, and I could hover. If I wanted to work myself harder, I could hover, not let my knees come down, and really feel a ringing action around your abdomen. That's your choice. Back to the centre, and you're going across it, you'll be hovering again. Ringing action of the abdomen, so keep that tummy back to your spine. Back to the centre, again. And in your own practice, you can do lots of these if you wish. Back to the centre, and again. Quiet face, back to the centre. The sprick is now used in Setu Bandha. Could be wide, feels a bit awkward, but that does give you more length in your hip, lower back area. My preferred way would be that way, but you can use it the other way if you wish. My feet have to be a bit closer in, and I'm lifting up, squeezing the brick, trying to lengthen my hips away from me, pressing down on my hands, chin towards the chest, active in these legs, squeezing in, tucking my hips down, coming up again, abdomen staying down, coming back down again, bend your knees in towards you, and have a rest. We're going to then start the Abdominal Krya sequence. So you could be staying resting down, but we need to have space to stretch arms and legs. And we're going to hold everything for a couple of minutes. And what you're meant to be doing is, in this sequence, it says that if you want to, you can do the whole thing with your eyes closed. And once you know the sequence by heart, you know what follows what, so you could just go from one thing to the other. Or you could make your gaze like, when you look at those, you used to have to look at these pictures in which there'd be a pattern of dots, you try to see something forming out of them, or unusual lines, and they form something. The more you almost don't stare, you make your eyes not really see things, so that the image comes forward. So you can do that sort of action with your eyes if you want. So it's almost like not really looking at anything if you wish to. And we'll be definitely keeping breathing and doing everything for 2 minutes. So here we go, and we start by lying down, and it's going to, one leg is going down, my head, I'm going to be down, but it's up, down, that action for 2 minutes. And everything 2 minutes, and you can build your way up to longer, to 3 minutes, leaving space there because I've got a door in the way. Arms are down, 2 minutes. I'll have to keep an eye on my watch a little bit. Here we go. In breath and out breath. One leg comes up, one leg comes up and down. Quiet face. You can go slowly or more quickly. I won't go too quickly, but you could go more slowly than I'm doing if you wish to. Try to have straight legs, striding, going up, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Abdomen staying down. Breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And just keeping doing this action, and I'll tell you when you've come to your 2 minutes. One leg comes up, that leg goes down. Other leg comes up, that leg goes down. One leg comes up, leg goes down. Breathe in, the leg comes up. Breathe out, the leg goes down. Breathing in, breathing out. And we have half a minute left for our 2 minutes. In breath and out breath. In breath and out breath. eyes, quiet face. After each one, you rest, and you just rest for a few moments or longer if you need to. And when you're ready, then the next one we go into is saluting. Your right arm goes by your ear and your left leg kicks in. Your left arm goes by your ear and your right leg kicks in. So this action for 2 minutes. Starting now. Right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg. It's as though you're marching, I suppose. Quiet head, quiet eyes. Back of the neck long, back of the skull descending down. It's giving us a stretch of our lower back. It's working our hips, stretch our shoulders. Saluting your arm by your ear, opposite leg bends in. Try not to stop breathing. You've almost done a minute. Feels great for the abdomen and the lower back. You've been out doing a lot of gardening. This is a super one. Extending, in breath, out breath, in breath, out breath. Saluting the arms. Keeping going. Half a minute left. Oops. Don't tighten your throat. Relax your tongue. Don't harden your eyes. Keep going. In breath and out breath. Extending the arm. Bending in the leg. Opposite knee. In breath and out breath. Keeping breathing. Keep your face quiet. And that's your 2 minutes. Have a rest. I would suggest bend your knees, let your body rest. Quiet face. And then you turn onto your side and you do your dog pose for 2 minutes. If that's too much, you do a bit of cat and a bit of dog. So make sure that nothing's in the way that you're going to slip. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift your hips up, stretch back, put that there and I can see it. 2 minutes. Check you can see all of me. I've just got a little bit more here. Sorry. Quiet head. As I say, if 2 minutes is too long, you can do cat as well. I'll tell you when you've done a minute, and then I'll tell you when you've done your 2 minutes. Quiet, quiet head, let your head hang. You can feel a little bit more length coming into the pose, but try to be as peaceful as you can. Held there, but you're peaceful. One more minute to go. Don't tense your neck, let your head hang, keep your arms strong, keep your legs strong, keep your abdomen back to the spine, keep your buttock bones lifting and pressing back. Half a minute left. Relax your tongue. Keep your forehead quiet. And rest down. So rest your head down, rest down in the pose of a child for a moment or two. Our next one is Cobra. Quite strong for 2 minutes for some people. Making sure that your pelvis has got something under it. So I've got my blanket underneath my pelvis. Heels can roll out, but don't let them roll in. I would suggest that you could start with your arms quite far away from you and work your way in. So we shall start now, and you just come in when you feel you can, or you stay like this. If you find it gets too much, come back down on your elbows into Sphinx. So we're pressing down into our legs in our cobra position. Not tensing our shoulders, keeping them down. Keeping the legs actively pressing down, the abdomen back towards the spine, feeling that there's a nice long stretch from the base of your neck all the way down to your tailbone. Quiet face. And I'm not bringing my shoulders up, and if I was, I'd come lower down. If you feel you can get more stretch, you start to walk your arms back. I'm really pressing into my legs as I walk my arms back. We're not at a minute yet. Some minutes feel a lot longer than other minutes. One more minute. If you're able to, you walk your hands back further, but then you want their shoulders up, so they've got to stay down. Pressing back into my legs. Tummy back. Shoulders down. Into Sphinx if that suits you better. The sternum is lifting in all these poses, and the tailbone is hooking forwards towards your pubic bone. Your shoulder blades are going down your back, and then be in your cobra. Your last half minute, quiet head, and close your eyes if you wish. Legs pressing down, shoulders down, back getting a stretch. And then carefully let yourself come down, let your heels roll out, let your head turn and have a rest. And then we come carefully onto our side and we do, in this Kriya sequence, it's called Yoga Crunch. And it's one that you'll recognise well. If you had a sore neck, you could use height underneath your head. It's not as effective, but you could. I'll just check it out because so you could have this sort of thing, because this is the one in which we're trying to lift up. Okay, and if you didn't want your head to come so far towards the floor, then you'd have some more support for your head, like that. So it could be here. Check them all in the. Okay, so it could be one brick. So if I had like neck tension, I could not have so far to bring my head down. And we'll start now. So sorry, keep that there. Another thing you could do, you could have your brick here, so that you know you're not puffing your abdomen up. We're breathing in and breathing out. And we're doing this for 2 minutes, coming up and coming down. And I'm keeping the brick there to remind me not to push my stomach up and to keep my spine going down. 2 minutes, breathing in, breathing out. Height for the head if you need it, the bricks, or it could be a folded blanket. Breathing in and breathing out. And see, I did push, so you don't want that to happen when you're doing this, so that's why I'm keeping that brick there. Remind me, it's got to stay down. When I work my abdominals, I want to feel they're gripping in, they're not making me push up from the floor. In breath and out breath. In breath and out breath. That's what we'll do next. Okay. One more minute to go. Yep, one more minute. Breathe in and breathe out. Good long out breath. Quiet face, quiet eyes. Remember, you could be doing these for 3 minutes if you really want. Every one of them. Oh, we must have about half a minute left. Breathing in, breathing out. Yeah, it's about. Oh, breathing in, breathing out. Enjoy. Squeeze those abdominal muscles in and release yourself down. And have a rest. Ooh, that can be quite hard work if your back's a bit tired. You have a rest, and then we go on to the piston one next. And for it, your head is down in this one, fortunately, and this is the one where you're thinking of your legs like pistons. So I'm coming away from that wall a bit. Oops, sorry, I'm just checking our time. So it's the one where we're going like this, and out, and in, and out. So palms pressed down, start now, 2 minutes. And it's great, straight after the abdominal crunch. It definitely feels effective. Press it away, and press it away. Away and press away. It's like cycling, I suppose, isn't it? Cycling on your back. Stretch, stretch, and press. One leg comes in, one leg goes out. So we're doing 2 minutes, but you can obviously do less of them, or you can do 3 minutes as you work into these. Try and make that like really straight. You can go for fast cycling if you feel you've got the energy. Go for slow cycling. I think they all feel equally as bad whether you're doing fast cycling or slow cycling. And we haven't done a minute yet. Oh. Okay. Ooh, right. So you're getting up the hill, getting nearer to the top of the hill. And we've got 1 minute left. And it's a great view. Quiet eyes. Knee comes in, leg goes away, knee comes in, leg goes away. We're in our last minute. And there's not exactly worse to come. There's 2 back bending poses, which in this sequence, but we're going to do boat pose, and not going to do bow. So boat and bow are similar in a way, the way you work your spine. Pistoning in and pistoning out. Whoa, another 10 seconds. Going for the burn. You're right at the top of the hill. Another few legs in and out, and you're going to be at the top of the hill. Let your knees roll in, let your abdomen sink down. Have a rest. So we next have it on the sequence. It's bow for 2 minutes, and I think bow is a bit strong for 2 minutes for most people. I'll show you it, but I'll just show you briefly because we're going to do boat instead. So it's this for 2 minutes, which I think a lot of people can't actually grab their ankles, and therefore we're going to do boat for 2 minutes. Well, maybe. We'll see how we get on. Now, if your back's feeling tired, you go for this boat. Long belt, and you do this boat. Okay, so you don't try and do full boat. So you go for this for 2 minutes. And you're still working your stomach muscles, you're pressing your shoulder blades in. Okay, so please do that. I'd quite like to do that myself, but I'll see how we get on doing our boat. I don't think we'll manage to hold them for 2 minutes, but we'll see how we get on. So here we are, we're in our boat pose, and we're stretching. And if you can hold it for a minute, then do. I probably can't, because my legs are really tired, because I've been out in the garden all day. But I'll try for half a minute anyway. And it's another 10 seconds. And then I would go into here, grab my legs in. So that was half a minute, and can I go for half a minute in this one? Another few seconds for me, because that's enough. Coming in again, stretch up again. And if that's been too much, then go for this one. And I'm going to do 1 minute in this one, because that's what I feel my back wants after all that. Here, 1 minute here. Hands can be down, press your shoulder blades in, press your back in. As I say, bow people, if you're still in bow, you have half a minute left in your bow. And in this boat, I am working my stomach muscles, oops, and my back in order to stay upright. That's why I'm falling over. So we're here. And I love this boat pose, I'm doing it like this, because I can feel work. And after some of the abdominal stuff that we've already done, this action, you're still working your stomach muscles, you're working your back. The last one we have to do is Ustrasana for 2 minutes. And I'm going to give you an alternative for it as well, because again, it's quite a strong pose for a lot of people, and I don't want anyone to overdo, but you can do camel for 2 minutes, and I'll show you a rested one, and I'll do camel for 2 minutes, and then we come down, and after that, I would hug your knees in, let your head rest forwards for your rest. Stay there, and I will get something for supported camel. Ustrasana, supported camel for 2 minutes. Make sure your knees are supported and safe. So I've got my shin bones pressing onto something soft, something to go back onto. Might need more, this could be 2 pillows. I'm going to put an assortment of bricks in there so that my head's not falling back. Camel pose. Legs can press down. Front thighs are meant to not over push forward, so they're drawing up. Buttock bones are going down, but I've got the chair here. My knees are on here to give them support, and I'm leaning back, leaning back. Buttock bones go down, so it's this action. You can see that it's not over curve. So if I was doing this as a restive pose, I'm here. Okay, so that is the action. And this feels very pleasant. I'm keeping my back long, I'm keeping my abdomen back, my shoulders are down. Stay there. Camel pose. The other, so we're doing it for 2 minutes. So you're either in that for 2 minutes, or we're in our camel pose here. Have a brick between your feet, so you keep that alignment. Press down into your shin bones. Keep your back long. Try and keep my watch around so I know what we're doing. Open chest to ceiling. Ustrasana. And being there. Let your head roll, turn back. So chair or here for 2 minutes. Breastbone to the ceiling. Quiet head. So whichever one you're doing, your outer legs are gripping in, your tailbone is hooking forwards, your shoulder blades are pressing in, your spine is pressing in, and your back is either in a long curve or it's in more of a curve like I'm doing. I've got to look at my watch. Breastbone is opening to the ceiling or to the wall behind you. And there's no strain in my throat, which is why I can speak. You would not want your head to come back like this if you had any strain in your throat. And then being in your camel pose. Quiet head for a minute more. Pressing your legs down. Opening your chest. Quiet eyes. It's a lovely stretch for your back at the full pose if you like it. Then your chesty bench is looking towards the wall behind you. It's a pose that's very good if you're feeling down because it opens up your heart, breastbone, chest area. So if you're feeling lacking in optimism and a bit down, it's a great pose to do, resting on the chair or doing it the way I'm doing here. I think probably got about, I don't know, 15 seconds. Quiet head. So when you come up, you've got to be careful. I'm trying to come up from the breastbone. And if I had a wall, I could stretch up. I think I'll go like this to lengthen out my back. A little bit abdomen back, so bring my elbows back. But then what we're all doing after this is a prone shavasana. We're getting towards the end of the sequence, the Kriya sequence. So I'll move this. Prone shavasana is lying on your front. Good, line in front. Our arms are like that. You have a blanket for your head so that you can have your head like that. That's to support my forehead. Now I'll show you prone shavasana. Whoops. It's a nice pose. If your back's feeling a bit tired, it's a recommended pose. So I've got enough height for my forehead. Hands are going out to the side. And maybe make that a bit higher actually. So I'm like this. And this again is 2 minutes. And this is us leading to our shavasana. So we do this and then we rest in a supported bridge. And that will be you ending your Kriya sequence. Well done. So head is down. 2 minutes. Elbows are in line with my shoulders. Palms are pressing down, so it's that action. Forehead, chin towards my chest. Let the legs roll out. Let your abdomen descend. Allow your buttock bones to lengthen towards your heels. Your elbows are extending out to the side. Weightiness into the legs, weightiness into your buttock bones, and width across the chest area, weightiness into your lower arms and into your forehead. As you breathe in, feel that you're spreading out your back muscles. As you breathe out, allow yourself to sink down towards the floor. Breathing in and out easily. Feeling your chest widening out on the in-breath. Your back muscles spreading out on the in-breath, all the way out to your elbows, to your lower arms, to the palms of your hands. Breathe out, allow your body to sink down. Expansive on that in-breath. Weighty on your out-breath. You may want to stay in this as your shavasana. And if you want to stay in this, you might decide you want to turn your head because you've got likely feel of your head turning. So do turn your head if you wish and stay in your shavasana. You might also, at the end, and I'll leave you in this one if you want to stay in this one, do a supported bridge with your bolster or your bricks. So you've got a little bit of height underneath the hips, like this. My toes might be towards the wall, so I've got a slight lift here and back bending action, or you might decide you want to come a little bit higher up with something firmer, or even higher up, so I had something under here. So if that feels what you prefer to go into now, because it feels quite good after the lying in prone Shavasana and then going into one of these variations, you could. Then being in your Shavasana until our next yoga practice, and staying peacefully in your bridge, in your prone Shavasana, or if you finish completely, coming and sitting quietly for a few moments at the end of your practice.